Spent the afternoon at the library in downtown Wollongong, and I just need to keep walking. I was going to look for somewhere around Wollongong to stealth camp, but to be honest, this probably doesn't sound great, but the kind of derelict vibe in downtown Australian cities, especially like a certain element of it in Canberra, but in Wollongong on that main street where the library is and stuff, I mean, it's obviously depressing, but I find it really depressing because like the whole thing I'm doing now, like I'm kind of borderline homeless, but I've got friends and family who probably care a little bit about what happens to me. But seeing those people, I mean, everyone's got a completely different story, but there's just this element that to me, like, I can imagine getting to that point myself from whatever life landing you there, not being able to secure housing, employment. I mean, I know all about that stuff. But it's just like this Groundhog's Day of, is it Groundhog's Day? Yeah, Groundhog's Day. It's just like this repetitive day of despair over and over again, doing the same things. Yeah. I guess the point, I'm trying to like hack the system a little bit, or at least buck the system and be healthy. I'm doing this because I want to improve myself and make the most of like a shitty situation in a way. It's impossible for someone like me to really rent a place now unless I find somewhere with friends. Well, I've had an offer maybe to move out into the country, but there isn't much I can do out in the country. I need to make money somehow. I make money from busking. She said I could possibly get bar work, but I was like, what about fruit picking or manual labor? I've done a lot of bar work in hospitality jobs, and there's obviously a need for other types of jobs that would be more appropriate. I don't want to be back in an environment around drunk people having to serve alcohol. Anyway, I guess my point is, like, I need to be somewhere where I can make money playing music if I'm going to rent somewhere, like busking, or get some kind of job. But you can't really choose so much where you want to live these days. I say that from experience, like, unless you live out of a hammock. So seeing, you know, people who look really down on their luck, it's really, really scary. I don't really want to empathize too much because, I mean, I literally get a stomach ache thinking about it. So I'm pretty keen to just keep walking, get out of Wollongong. I think it's really important to never Google the socio-economic status or the violent crime stats of the neighborhoods which you are passing through. You could just create unnecessary kind of distress. Since you're passing through anyway, you may as well just be chill. But you do get a vibe. Just north of Wollongong. I mean, this might be a really nice place, who knows. But the whole Wollongong area just kind of stinks, if you ask me. No offense. It's funny how people say no offense, because they're always saying something that's really offensive. And yeah, I admit that was insulting to Wollongong heads. I just haven't seen the real good side of it. Some nice beaches and stuff that I walked past, but just culturally it seems like real kind of trash bag kind of land, which, you know, could be cool. I'm just not into it. Like just before, and it would have been good if I was filming, But these kind of things never pan out the same way if you're filming. But I had this sort of strange altercation with this weird stumpy looking lady. She's just walking down the path sidelong to her like kind of methy looking husband. I mean, I'm being very presumptuous, but I'm pretty sure I'm probably like 100% correct. But so I'm like walking on the left, as you do to give way to people in Australia. You stick to the left. And she's on my left, she's on my side, and I'm like not really making eye contact. I'm just kind of walking along, and eventually it's clear she's not going to get out of the way, and she's not going to move over to the side because her husband's there. And I'm like, okay. And I kind of catch her eye, and she's like literally glaring at me. I'm like, well, I guess I'll let it pass, but I had to be a bit of a smartass about it, which is stupid, because they could have, you know, stabbed me with a syringe or something. But I was like, Madame, and she was like, what? What'd you say, cunt? And I'm like, oh, I'm deaf, can't hear you. And they both stop and look at me, and I'm just like being a total coward now, like. But I'm like, don't look back, just keep walking, but sort of walk calmly, like fast, but like don't start running, because sometimes people behave like dogs. If you start running, they start chasing. Anyway, I just didn't look back. I don't know, are they behind me now? Obviously they didn't think I was worth it. Worth what? I don't know, like bashing me or something. I hope you got some of that story in between all the wind and stuff. You know, it's hard. I can't turn off the wind. There's nothing I can do about it. I know some of you will be like, why don't you get a wind blocker for your camera? That's actually a good idea. I think I'll do that after I get to Sydney and all this is done. I am having a good time, but even though I posted a really upbeat thing this morning walking into Wollongong, walking out of Wollongong, I'm not feeling down, just a bit reflective. You know, poverty does kind of depress me. Not my own poverty. I'm trying to, you know, make lemonade out of lemons here, but just people who are stuck in that cycle, you know, when they're not doing anything interesting, they're not in that cycle because they're being interesting. It's not like they've got some skill that our economy just doesn't care for. They're just walking around like getting in your way on the footpath and being like, it's just boring, isn't it? Anyway, it feels good to be walking out of Wollongong. Everything feels better. And my stomach feels better. My stomach was playing up today. And I think that's why it's like my mind and my gut are so interlinked. I've got to get out of this place.
Job and join the army band. Dig a hole to China through no man's land. I never did provide for old man Tom. He just walks around wondering what went wrong.
I don't know who Paraskiva Mialova was. I'm really just following the coastline here. and it's taking me on lots of kind of zigzaggy roads to stick to it. I just don't want to check Google Maps on my phone. It's down to about 13% battery, even though I spent hours in the library in Wollongong. It was just not really charging. You've got to keep jamming the charger in, or else it just stops charging. So that's annoying. But this is good. And you know, the less time I look at a screen, the more time I'm actually walking and running. Which is the goal, right? That's what we want to do.
He drinks from the creek and he sleeps in the grass till the future comes along and kicks his ass. You sold me a lemon when I could not pay. Now I read your messages for the words you don't say. You told me a lesson that I misunderstood, 'cause being caught in your fantasy felt so good. You're a dead man's face in a catabatic breeze, an acrobatic corpse in the hologram trees. You're a troll under bridges where the fishermen sneeze, a Superman spreader in the sleepless breeze.
We are approaching the township of Thirroul. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. But this is the destination for the day. So I think if I can, I'm going to try go for a swim. Looks like there might be rangers patrolling the area, given by that huge fucking totalitarian sign right there. Gee, they make it clear, don't they?